Hello and welcome to ENCORE, the Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, and sex. I would like to thank you for making the time to join us wherever and however you are watching us. And please invite your friends to join you. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am a playwright, I am a novelist, I publish a magazine, and I am also the CEO of Roman Productions. And as CEO, we produce a play every quarter right here in Accra at the National Theatre. And if you are in Accra or you plan to be in Accra over the Christmas and New Year holidays, then I have great news for you. Because you see, this Christmas and New Year holiday, my festival of 5 plays will run again. It will start from the 23rd with Damaged Goods. It will continue on 24th with Blackmail. And then we'll continue on Christmas Day with the Comeback. And then New Year's Day, Nicholas, you won't believe Nicholas. And then we'll end it on the 2nd with Everyone Has a Secret. Everyone Has a Secret is one of the most craziest things I have done. I created one of the most incredible characters for Everyone Has a Secret. So join us. But the important thing is that if it is also useful for you to buy a ticket to the festival and give out as a present to somebody. So you want to surprise somebody, you want to say thank you to somebody, you want to delight somebody, be maybe a friend, a colleague, or even a worker, a staff, a customer. Then I recommend to you our festival, a ticket to the Festival of Plays. Remember, it begins from 23rd of December. It will run till the 2nd of January, right here in Accra at the National Theatre. Now, if you are joining us for the first time, you will need to know that we have been on a quest for understanding and insight, and on marriage, on love, marriage, and sex. And the way we've done it is that we've been using the letters of the English alphabet. We began with A, and we've run through to N, and every episode we pick one letter, and we try to use words beginning with that letter that will teach us a bit about love, marriage, and sex. Today we are on the letter O, the letter O. And the O words are O for obligations, O for obstacles, and O for oasis. Obligations, obstacles, oasis. So, shall we get going? Let's begin with our first letter, O for obligations. Now, I've heard people say that, it is not right to talk about obligations in a love relationship. For many people, in a love relationship, we should allow things to flow naturally. So don't talk about obligations, because when you do that, then it becomes almost contractual. Well, I beg to differ. Let me give you an illustration. I believe that my car cannot tell me that I owe it obligations. But as the owner of the car, I must understand that without fuel, that car is not moving. I must understand that without regular maintenance, that car will not perform optimally. In the same way, if you're in a relationship, you owe it to yourself and to your partner and to the relationship to understand what will make that relationship work, what will make it grow, what will make it strong. And those are the things you now put on yourself as your obligations. Your partner will not be right to come and stand before you and say, look, you owe me this obligation. Once your partner does that, something has gone wrong in your relationship. But you, as your way of saying, I value this relationship, I cherish my partner, I want this relationship to go, then you put yourself under certain obligations so that you can become the best lover that your partner can have. So let's look at a few of those obligations. One, the first obligation I believe anyone in a love relationship owes is to love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. I know that there are people saying that, is that not selfish? No, that is not selfish. The fact is, you cannot give what you do not have. All right? If you do not love yourself, you cannot accept love from anybody, and you cannot give love. So you've got to practice to love yourself. So what does it mean to love yourself? A few things. One, know yourself fully. Now, I'm not talking about a glorified idea of yourself, but take a hard, cold look at yourself. And don't deceive yourself. No self-delusion here, no self-deception here. Know yourself. After you've known yourself, and it doesn't matter how you measure with other people, don't compare yourself with anybody. The next is accept yourself. Accept who you are. Remember, there's something that I think we should all note. In life, one human being is not better than another. So somebody is not superior to you. Somebody's character is not better than yours. In life, what we have are differences. I am different from you. I am not inferior to you. I am different from you. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and you've got to accept that. And having accepted that, you move on to make choices that are in your best interest. Too many of us don't make that. They don't, it will look like, oh, you don't need to say that. Of course, I will make choices that are in my best interest. No, we don't. We don't. A lot of us make choices that undermine our best interest. But you begin to root for yourself. Do you understand me? Be in your own corner. Be in your corner and support yourself and make the choices that will give you the best opportunities in life, enable you to operate at your best consistently. Next, create an environment where you can keep growing and keep building on your strengths. Remember I said that every one of us has strengths and weaknesses. Don't focus on your weaknesses. They will be there. But what I've discovered is that if you focus on your strengths, on your positive, the weaknesses take care of themselves. Because you see, every strength in itself has a weakness. It's like a coin. You can't say that I want a coin with only the head. No. Every coin comes with a head and a tail. So every strength also has its own inherent weakness. But when you focus, you play to your strengths, the weaknesses become go to the background. They go to the back burner. They don't become active. So focus on the positive. Grow yourself. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Feed your body. Create an environment where you become the best self, your best possible self. And finally, under loving yourself, pursue your passion and your interests. Now, why am I bringing this here? Because, listen, any person who is living his best, who is living his dreams, who is doing things that is exciting for him, is a great lover. Relating to that person is wonderful because he is full of stories. He has fulfillment. And therefore, he does not feel threatened by you. Otherwise, he will resent you moving on. That is why you owe it to yourself to pursue your dreams, to pursue your passion, so that when you come together as a couple, each of you is brimming with ideas and with stories and with joy, and that is what works. So that's the first obligation you owe in a relationship, to love yourself. The second obligation, love your partner. I know somebody will say, but well, of course, if I'm in a love relationship, I will love my partner. No, that's not what happens. There are people who are in love relationships, but they don't love their partners. They don't love their partners. But love your partner. Love your partner. What does it mean to love your partner? Know your partner well. Listen, not your version of your partner, but the true version, the true reality of your partner. Many of us, we meet somebody and we think that, oh, well, because you've always been searching for a girl who is down to earth and intelligent, you say, oh, she's so down to earth. No, you open your eyes and look at the girl well. So know your partner well, and then after that, accept your partner for who and what he or she is. Remember what I said? There are no better human beings than others. There are only different human beings. So your partner is not inferior. Your partner is different. So can you appreciate that person's individuality and accept that individuality? Having accepted that, move on to the next, which is support and protect your partner. Support your partner. you know, we don't have it all. You know, you may have a partner who is a lousy organizer, who is lousy in keeping the home, but intelligent and brilliant with people, with dealing with situations and with people. So which one are you going to focus on? Create the environment for that person to be able to operate in his or her strength, and then you make up for the weakness. That's what I mean by support and protect your partner. Protect your partner. Don't go out talking, bad-mouthing your partner. Everybody has shortcomings. So don't go and say, hey, the girl I'm relating to, or hey, the man I'm relating to. No. It doesn't help. Then you are not operating in love. And finally, give your partner room to an opportunity to grow. Create space for that person to grow. So those are the first two obligations you owe in a relationship. Let's go to the third. You owe the obligation to be trustworthy. In an earlier presentation, in an earlier episode, I said that trust is the currency of a relationship. Without trust, you can't talk about a relationship. Definitely, you can't talk about intimacy, because there can be no intimacy where there are trust issues. So what does it mean to be trustworthy? A few things. One, you must be consistent. You must be consistent. You must not be the kind of person who is a chameleon, or as we used to say in school, chameleon. You must be consistent. Who you say you are, you must be. What you are with me, you must be elsewhere, because I will get to know reports about you. Be consistent. Don't tell me that you don't like fufu when you go and eat fufu in a visitor's house. If you won't eat fufu from my house, you are not eating fufu anywhere else. You understand? That is consistency. 2, be dependable. Be dependable. When you make a promise, don't wait to be reminded and beaten on the head before you. I will buy you a car. Buy the car, even if it makes you broke. Do you understand? You open your big mouth and you promise. So deliver it. Your partner doesn't need to know how you're going to do it. Once you've said it, if you said it, do it. 3, you must be truthful. That is part of being trustworthy. You must be truthful. When you say something to me, when you tell me to look up, I shouldn't look down. I should look up. But you see, if you have the history of telling me to look up, and I look up only for you to hit me in the stomach, then the next time you tell me to look up, I'm going to walk back first before I look around. So be truthful. And then next, be open. Be open. It's part of being truthful. Don't hide your feelings in a relationship. You don't like something, please speak it. You enjoy something, say it. Just that when it is negative, choose your time carefully and pick your words carefully. And then finally, on being trustworthy, you are trusting. This is an important part. You know, if you don't trust me, you are telling me that I can't trust you. So the mark of a trustworthy person is that the person trusts you. Anybody who says, I don't trust you, he's saying that don't trust me. It's a coded message. And when people say, I don't trust you, I don't trust anybody, it means that he's saying, hey, the world, please don't trust me. I am so untrustworthy. So let's know that. So that is the third commitment, be trustworthy. Let's go on to the fourth. You owe it to your relationship, to yourself, and to your partner to be committed in the relationship. Commitment. So what does it mean to be committed in a relationship? A few things. One, you should understand the nature and the demands of a relationship. A relationship makes demand on you, and you must understand that, and you must not repudiate that. You must not run away from that. Otherwise, you are too small. You are a baby. Mature relationships are for mature people. If you are mature, you understand this will put demands on me. It will limit my freedom to some extent, but it is worth the price. The second thing on the commitment is that embrace all that the relationship brings fully. You know, some people want the relationship and they want only the good parts of it. The walks in the park, the walks at the beach, the kissing, the caressing, and all the other things they do when they know that they shouldn't be doing. Then when it comes to I have issues. Let's sit down and talk. No, 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 no. No. It is all part of the relationship. So embrace the relationship fully. The third under commitment is that make the relationship and your partner a priority. There are lots of people who say they are in a relationship, but the relationship is almost like an afterthought. They will give attention to everything in their lives apart from the relationship. Before you travel, ask yourself, what's going to happen to my partner? I'm going to be away for a week. What will my partner do? If it is not convenient, then I am not going on that trip. You have made your relationship a priority. And you must, especially when the relationship matures into marriage, it should be your priority. Because you see, in Ghana, when you are 60, we send you home with a wall clock. A wall clock. And it's very ironic. When you retire, you don't need a watch. But that's when we give you a clock. We are telling you, see how quickly the time has passed. But when you get home, it is your spouse who would be your life. So give it a priority now, not later, now. Let your relationship be a priority to you. The fourth thing under commitment, be willing to make any sacrifice necessary to keep this relationship going, to keep it strong. Be willing to make that sacrifice. And five, think long term as far as the relationship is concerned. Don't go into a relationship and do asana kind of relationship. We are testing to see whether it will work. If you're in this, be in it for the long term. And then don't stop courting your partner. That is all part of commitment. Don't stop courting your partner. Lots of the things you did during the early days that made your partner excited about you, don't stop doing them. If anything, take your game to a higher level. Close your mind to all options. Once you've made a decision and you are in a relationship, you are no longer on the open market. So take yourself off the open market. If it is an item, go right, sold, and put on it. So in your mind, let there be a sign that says sold. I am sold. I am not available. Close your mind to all other options. Then, 8, hold yourself accountable to your partner. Hold yourself accountable to your partner. Don't do things without running your partner once you say you're in a relationship. So don't resign. Don't surprise your partner with a resignation. Don't come home and say, hey, you know what? I have resigned. Oh, no. When did you resign? Why did you resign? I am a stakeholder in your life, so you can't do that. And then 9, whenever you have to fight in the relationship, fight to save the relationship, not to win. Never be bothered about being right. Be concerned about making this relationship work. Okay, now let's go to obligation 6. Obligation 6 is you owe an obligation to be respectful. Respect your partner and the relationship. Respect your partners as a human being. Respect his or her dignity. It means you can't speak to your partner anyhowly. You can't give them attitude because that is not respectful. Respect their space. Respect their dreams. If your partner says, I am going to fly to the moon, don't say, you moon, ha, ha, ha. You too, ha, ha, ha. Find out. Really, this is wonderful. So how are we doing it? And don't say, how are you doing? How are we doing it? Because you're going to, and then let it become a discussion. Be respectful. Oh, and be respectful of that person's space. There's a reason why you have your phone and he also has his phone. Keep your hands to your phone. Leave his phone to himself. And don't tell me that, I picked his phone to make a call, and then something said I should. That's something the devil. Don't listen to him. Because you see, in life, the things you are searching for, you will find, and you may not always like what you find. Well, still on obligation, obligation number 6, protection. Protection. You must, as soon as you enter a relationship, this is what you do, whether subconsciously. You hand over the keys to your life to your partner. So the keys to your happiness, the keys to your dignity, the keys to your reputation, your dignity, you hand it over. And your partner, if this is proper love relationship, also returns the compliment, also gives you the keys to her life. Now it means you have my keys. So protect me. I have your keys. I owe it to you to protect you. Now, the final obligation you owe in marriage is this. You owe it to the relationship to think sexual. It is amazing how many people are married and still don't see their partners as sexual beings and don't see their sex as people who have sexual needs. Listen, I know this may sound old-fashioned, but this is the fact. Marriage is the only relationship in which it is right to have sex. No other relationship exists where you have the license to kill. Do you understand me? So you have the license to have sex in marriage. So don't marry and begin not to think about sex. Anytime you see your partner, shift your mood to sex. Think sex. Think sex. Because your partner is a sexual being. This relationship is a sexual relationship. So begin to think of, so how can I meet the sexual needs of my partner? How can I fulfill her sexually? How can I make my partner sing for joy anytime we engage sexually? So those are the obligations that you owe in your relationship, and please watch them. Like you failing to buy fuel into your car and the car not moving, if you do not impose these obligations upon yourself, what will happen is that your relationship will be like a car, it will not move. Now, let's move on to the second O word. The second O word, obstacles. Obstacles. I have listed 20 obstacles that can stand in the way of you building a strong, healthy love relationship. 20 of them. I'm going to run through them quickly. Some of them I will not comment on because they should be obvious, but there are 20 of them. If any of them that I jump, you still need an explanation. Maybe when we get to the phone-in session, you can call and would spend time on that. So, obstacle number one, culture. The cultural environment in which you are operating can be an obstacle. There are cultures that are not pro-love. They undermine a love relationship. You know, there are cultures that will tell you things like, oh, a man cannot eat like soup alone. He must have variety. Then you know that culture is promoting infidelity. There are cultures that will tell you, hey, a man is not like a pillow on whom you put your head. What they are doing is that they are undermining commitment in a relationship. Two, spiritual reality. We don't talk about this often in our modern world because all of us say we don't believe in spiritual things, but there's a spiritual reality to life. Now, and there are powers of darkness, and they hate to see love flourish and blossom. So some of the misunderstandings in your life, in your relationship, begin to pray about them because there is that component as well. Three, ego. Ego, your partner's ego, or the egos of both of you. Relating to somebody who's too big to say, I am sorry. It's a headache, isn't it? Four, fear. Oh, I know you will leave me one day. That is fear talking. Now, the interesting thing about fear is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because I fear you will leave me one day, I begin to now relate to you in a way with an attitude that rather drives you away. Then when my attitude makes you go away, then I go and say, aha, you see, I told you you would leave me one day. You see, you have done that. Fear. Five, baseless suspicion. This is where, in a relationship where you haven't done anything, but they say you have done it. You know? And they are saying you have done it, not with any basis. You know? Even when you come home at 5, why have you come home early? It means that you left the office earlier. Where did you go? Baseless suspicions. It is an obstacle to building intimacy in a relationship. One of the saddest cases on a baseless suspicion that I know is a man, he's a senior journalist in Ghana, who insists whenever the wife comes from home and comes from town, insists the wife must first come to the bedroom and he does an inspection. Makes the woman takes off her sebio pants and inspect her to see that there has been no activity in the 6-yard box. 6, negative lifestyle. If you're a heavy drinker, If you're a heavy smoker, that's a negative lifestyle, and you're putting an obstacle in your relationship. You're making it difficult for your partner to love you fully and to be very intimate with you. 7, trust issues. Trust issues. I've already talked about being trustworthy, so I'll move on to 8, the kind of models you have in the community. If you live in a kind of community where it is all right for a woman to insult her husband publicly, the chances are that one day you also insult your husband. You know, I know communities in Accra in particular where they don't need television. They don't need to watch any soap opera because the married couples in the neighborhood are enough entertainment for everybody, you know. 9, mindset. If your mindset is that, for instance, that the woman is only good to cook and to warm your bed, then you're going to be a lousy lover and you're going to be an obstacle in your relationship. 10, comparisons. Comparison with other people's relationships. Comparison with your siblings' relationship. Comparison with how somebody is treating his spouse or his partner. Listen, never compare your relationship or your partner with anybody because you don't know what is going on. What you see in anybody's relationship is the tip of the iceberg. You are not in their bedroom with them. You don't know what is going on. So be careful before you say. Plus, never glorify anybody you haven't slept with before. Something happens to a relationship. So the man in the office who is so nice to you is because he's never slept with you. If he's married to you, he may be worse than the one you have. So don't do those comparisons. Third parties could be an obstacle in a relationship. In Ghana, 12. In Ghana, no children. It is almost as if for some people, the only use for marriage is that you have children. And when there are no children, they create obstacles in a relationship. 13, ill health, sickness can become an obstacle. 14, lack of respect can become an obstacle. And I don't think that I need to go further on lack of respect. Next, emotional immaturity. Then it's interesting. Listen. When you're relating to somebody who is emotionally immature, it is almost as if you are relating to somebody whose fingers are scissors. Every finger is a scissor. And the closer you get to them, every time you get close to them, they cut you. And so when you are relating to an emotionally immature person, you have no other choice than to stay away or to keep a distance because they will cut you every time. Negative self-esteem and insecurity. That's number 17, insecurity. Negative self-esteem, it can block you from receiving love and giving love. 18, false pretenses during courtship. You know, this issue of you give the impression you are what you are not during courtship in the hope that the person will marry you. Well, you may get the person to marry you, but you will never be happy in your marriage because the person will punish you every day for deceiving them. 19, ghosts of past relationships. They can haunt the current relationship like nothing else. So learn to put those ghosts to rest. And finally, being critical and judgmental. Listen, stop judging your partner. Stop being a school teacher marking the behavior and the conduct of your partner. That is not what a relationship is. We don't go into a relationship so we'll be judged and be shown how stupid we are. No, that's not why we go into it. All right, so now let's go to our final O word, oasis. Oasis. Life is a desert. Marriage or a love relationship is an oasis. It's a one place where one can have comfort, can have relief, can have safety. But for marriage to become your oasis in this desert of life, certain conditions must be met. And to share those conditions with you, I'm going to use the letters of oasis to express those conditions. So let's spell oasis. O for openness. There must be openness in the relationship. A, acceptance. You must accept yourself. You must accept your partner for who and what they are. S, there must be security. And I've talked about protection in this. It's part of security. I, there must be intimacy in the relationship. And finally, there must be support in the relationship. If there is openness, acceptance, security, intimacy, and support, then marriage can become the oasis in this desert of life. Well, That brings me to the end of my presentation on the O words for today. We'll take a very short break, and then when we come back, I will take your questions and your comments. And once again, I'd like to thank you very much for staying with us. And also, remember, my festival of play starts from 23rd of December to the 2nd of January. So, see you in a bit.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, honey, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle WHYTE at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Well, thank you very much for staying with me. I am grateful. I don't take it for granted. And now let's have the questions flowing. So, do we have any question?
Yes, please.
All right, let's
I
go.
would like to first of all thank Serum Sugar and Cancer, Shekan Jalal, Alfred Osei-Boateng, Selma Nanaya Agre, Efwa Oparibia, and Parkwesi Honey for joining us today. Our first question is from Emilia. Sorry, just a minute. No. Okay.
Well, let somebody else, whilst you search for the media question.
I have a question on WhatsApp. It says that, please, I'm a lady of 25 years. I want to know how I will build my sense of humor.
Well, begin by not taking yourself seriously and look at some of the things that embarrass you and begin to talk about them. That's when the joke is always about you. It helps. It disarms your opponents. There was a politician in Kumasi when I was young. His name was Joe Appiah, and Joe Appiah was one of the most interesting politicians, because whenever he mounts the stage, he begins by insulting himself first. He will tell you that I know that my head is not correct, my nose is too big, my ears are too big. And then everybody is laughing, but he's disarmed you. After that, what can you say? So always begin, don't take yourself seriously. And some of the things that embarrass you, turn it around and create humor out of them.
Okay, so now Amelia's question. How do I make space for my partner to grow?
First, by growing yourself. As you grow, as you yourself take steps to grow, you give your partner the opportunity and the room to grow as well. When you are not growing, you can't force him to grow. It won't work.
Uncle. Hello, Uncle. Is it normal? My husband spends more than 10 minutes when found without any drug. I think she's talking about when they're in bed. He spends more than 10 minutes without any drug. And this is from Jeffa.
Is that why you sighed on the question before you asked it? Because I noticed that after you read the question, you went, before you ask it, any confession?
Oh no, I'm just wondering why she thinks it's kind of abnormal if he lasts more than 10 minutes without a drug.
Well, the question is, what is she comparing it with? No, I don't think I'd like to comment on it because there are too many facets to this kind of question that I don't want to just make it light. So let's go on to something else.
Uncle, on the issue of trust.
Wait. Did I see Ephraim's hand on it? Ephraim, you have a perspective on this?
Oh, no, I have a question different from this one. So
Oh, you have a question. Okay, Ephraim, one of our crew, one of the guys who makes this possible, an incredible young man, very gifted. I'm hoping that the question he would ask
will be incredible.
All right, Ephraim, let's go.
Uncle, my question is that you were talking about the trust issue, and you gave an example that if you promise something, you give it. If you don't have the money, if you have to cost you all your money to deliver it because you open your mouth to
Yeah, because
promise.
you have promised.
So Uncle, how about you promise though?
Yes.
You open this mouth to promise.
Yes.
And now you want to fulfill the promise.
Yes.
But you realize that there's a pressing need to the same person than the promise that you promised. So you decide to do that one first. And you did that one, and the person is happy, but later still accused that I didn't fulfill the promise.
Yeah, because
so you should have done the promise and left the pressing need.
Pressing according to who? Pressing according to who?
Oh, according to you. But
According to you, you wanted to run away, a cheap boy. You wanted to run away from your promise. Don't mind yourself. Yeah, please, let's go on to another.
Uncle, on the issue of trust, how do you regain lost trust?
It's difficult, isn't it? But give it time. Time is always a healer. And also, bear fruits that befit repentance. In other words, don't repeat the behavior that created the trust issues. Build confidence, and what I say, and put in place confidence-building measures. And that will help.
From Aramide Lawal, what do you do when your partner constantly puts you in a position where you are constantly wondering where you stand with him or her?
Oh, have a talk. Have a talk. So because it's not a healthy thing when you don't know where you stand. So have a talk with him, and I hope it helps.
From Bakwesi, Uncle, what could be a basis to break a love relationship?
Oh, Pakwisi, we don't have the time to do that. It's a long list. So we're thinking of putting a pause to this ABC and do a few issues before we come back to conclude them. So that may be one of the things we'll pick if we decide to do that. If not, after the ABC, the alphabet of love will come and do some. So please, Ken, note that as one of the topics. When can you walk away from a love relationship?
From Ajay, how does a person with a negative self-esteem deal with this?
Go through what I talked about, loving yourself, know yourself, accept yourself, embrace your individuality. Try to confront the ghosts of the past. Some of the things they said to you when you were younger that are haunting you, let them all go and begin to take pride in some of your achievements and what you are doing now, and you'll be fine.
From Mary Joy, emotional immaturity. Uncle, could you please say something small about it? What makes one emotionally immature?
When you make everything about you, that is emotional immaturity. Everything's about you. Everything you take personal. That is emotional immaturity. When you don't know where to deal with an issue and how to deal with an issue. When you don't know how to control your temper, and as soon as you feel something, you would immediately let it come out. That is emotional immaturity. When you use words to hurt and to cause pain, that is emotional immaturity. When you're always threatening, I will leave you, I'll go, this thing is not working, let's call it off. When you don't mean it, that is emotional immaturity.
Uncle, this is from our YouTube page from Benedicta. Hi, Uncle Ibo. I'm glad to be a part of today's live session. It's my first time. I chanced on one of your recorded live sessions earlier this week. I've been able to watch almost all the other sessions I've missed, and it's been such a blessing. I'm a sucker for sound relationship advice, and your program has left me blessings God for my fiancée. Sorry. For my fiancée, who is everything positive, but you have discussed so far. Ours is a long-distance relationship with 10-hour difference, but we have been doing so well for almost 2 years now. I consider this my premarital counseling, and I ask God for long life with good health for you, so you can remain a blessing to some of us seeking godly marriages. From Benedicta in Finland.
Well, Benedicta, thank you very much for the kind words. For all of you who will be praying for me, don't pray for long life. Pray for a fruitful and relevant life. The day I finish being useful, I want to go. I don't want to be the kind who lives for 150 years. And meanwhile, everybody is forgotten about you and you're not making any impact. I want to make every day a life of impact. And the day I stop being impactful, that day I like to go. But thank you for the kind words.
From Miss Fixer. Uncle, is it okay to keep in touch with our ex-partners if you are 100% sure there is nothing between you two?
Why is it a big deal? If really it is over and there's nothing there, why is it such a big deal that you must necessarily go back to this person? I agree that the ex should not be your enemy. But if you don't have any business doing with that person, why are you building it? Especially when it can come to haunt your current relationship. So let's be careful with it.
Uncle, please, how do you handle a man or woman who has trust issues and it is as a result of past happenings?
Oh, they are paying you for the sins of past of girlfriend and boyfriend past. Well, just be consistent. You be consistent and don't bother about that. Don't take it personal and you'll be fine.
All right, this is from our WhatsApp platform. Hello, Uncle. My husband takes my phone and responds to my WhatsApp messages. I have spoken about it so many times, but he doesn't stop. He doesn't want to listen to your program, and I'm the only one benefiting. And this is from Amma.
Wow. What did Kwesi say? Oh, wow. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? That's very unfortunate. I'm sorry for what you're going through. But if you have nothing to hide, ignore it. And anytime you find that he has responded, you get back and say, tell the people, that came from my husband. This is my real response. And let the people know my husband will see it and will respond, so watch it.
Uncle, this is from Ikea. Hello, Uncle. Sometimes we don't intend to allow these obstacles to come our way. Some way, somehow, they peep in themselves.
Yeah, they do. Okay, I agree. That's why we have to be, that's why we're talking about them. So we'll continue to be mindful. You know, the secret to building a good relationship is eternal vigilance. You must constantly watch against anything that can work against the relationship and regularly be looking out for the things that will strengthen it. So that's why we talk about this, but you are right.
What about if your partner doesn't give you the chance to talk with him when a problem arises from him or her?
Then bring in a third party, a counselor. And that is why for those of you watching who are not married yet, always demand a pre-marital counseling. Get a counselor to whom you can hold yourselves accountable for the rest of your married life, and that will help. It's for situations like this.
You just mentioned premarital counseling, and there's something that's been bothering me for quite. Pre or post-marital counseling, which one would you go for?
Ken, you are not married. Focus on the pre. And then when you've done the pre, we'll talk about the post. Okay. For you right now, pray is everything. You focus on your pre-marital.
Williams, Uncle, if you see a package come in your house and you ask your husband who gave this package to him, and he tells you it's from one lady he's been talking to on Facebook and wants you to take this package home to his mother, what do you do with the package?
Wants who to take the package, you or your husband?
You, the lady. The husband wants you, the lady, to take it back home to his mother.
to your husband's mother
Yes.
or to the mother of the person he's been talking to?
I think it's the gentleman's mother.
So he has received and he's telling the
So
wife
he's
to
sending
give
you
Yes, he's sending you the package that he got from a lady.
to your mother-in-law.
with a package he received from the virtual girlfriend.
Yes.
That's a girlfriend.
Yeah, virtual girlfriend. That's what it is. Now, wow. Why wouldn't he take it himself? Why wouldn't he take it himself? Let's go on.
Uncle, from Duncan. Uncle, thanks for today's presentation. I might be leaving my boyfriend of about 2 years today because he cheated on me and I haven't been able to forget what he did. He's apologized, but I feel he's not stopped talking to her and probably the other ghosts in his life. It hurts because he's my first boyfriend. I am 29.
Wow. Wow, my heart goes out to you. It happens, but it shouldn't have happened to you, and it's happened to you. If he hasn't called it off, then you are right to move away because it will continue haunting you. I wish he had given you reason to believe his sincerity, that he was going to close that chapter in his life. But if he's still keeping it open, then really your relationship has become too crowded. So advise yourself, and I wish you all the best.
Uncle, sometimes you don't trust your partner. It happens. It's normal. It's a verb. But the situation where when you call your partner, his tonation and mood on phone is not exciting as compared to when you are with him. Or he is on phone with another person, be it male or female. How do you relate to it? Some of such little things gets to us so much that we break down. Uncle, please say something.
You may be seeing things when there's nothing there. Ignore it. Ignore it. If he hasn't given you any other cause to suspect him, then just let it go. Just call his attention. Now, when I call you on the phone, you don't always sound excited. So why? And so you can deal with it.
Uncle, I am very sensitive, but I don't use to lash out. I rather do plays in my head when a loved one hurts me. How do I stop this?
Or you internalize it, and that will make it difficult for you to deal with issues. So begin to talk about it now. Begin to talk about it. If talking about it is still difficult for you, write them. Write notes for your partner, indicating what is going on, and let's see how it goes.
Uncle, this from WhatsApp. I've been dating my boyfriend for a year now. I am one person who is into social media a lot, so I'm always on my phone, but my boyfriend complains a lot about that, and I can't do away with it. He sometimes steals my phone at night and goes through them. Is this really right? Anyway, I'm breaking up with him soon. I think this is so controlling, I can't take it.
All right, no comment. Let's go on to the next. The person has already taken a decision. There's nothing we can say that will...
From Stewardson. Please, when can misunderstandings be classified as too much or too many in a relationship?
You want to know when to walk out. Well, I promise that we'll deal with that. And unlike Ephraim, I will fulfill that promise.
From Ni. Uncle, you mentioned giving the broken trust time. But if you are often reminded that you broke that trust, can it curtail your love?
Or it will hurt because your partner then is using your history against you, and it is not right.
Uncle, from Vivian. What can you do for a man you married over 20 years, but he never ever knew you?
You never ever knew him?
He never ever knew you.
Knew you?
Yeah.
Well, at least he knew you in a biblical sense, didn't he? Well, that's unfortunate. It means that the two of you didn't help each other. So begin to get to know each other now. 20 years is a long time, and there's still quite a lot of years ahead of you. The years ahead are going to be even more difficult if you don't know each other well. So get to know each other.
From Polycarp. Hi, Uncle. Polycarp, sorry. Hi, Uncle. Please, how do you handle your beloved who doesn't like something you do, but does the same thing and assume you are okay with it?
Is that a Polycarp I know? Polycarp. If it's a Polycarp I know, I lost boy, come and report. But what's the question? That what do you...
How do you handle your beloved who doesn't like something you do, but does the same thing and assume you are okay with it?
Well, you focus on growing. You focus on becoming a better person and leave your partner to also take the cue later.
This is from K on our WhatsApp platform. Uncle, how can I handle this? My woman normally talks about her ex.
Whoa. In what sense? Is he talking about what kind of useless person he is and how you are a different person? Or she's talking about how he used to make her feel better than you do? Or what? Please clarify the situation.
Uncle, we have a comment from Sandy. My hubby will pretend to sleep anytime he hears your voice, but I still replay it to him.
Good show. That's all I can say. Go girl.
Uncle, if your partner tells you to trust him but constantly does things that makes you not trust him, example, constantly talking and giving attention to women who like him, what do you do?
Of course, attention to it. Tell him that what he's doing is undermining the relationship and the trust. And he's creating trust issues in the relationship.
Uncle, this is from our WhatsApp platform. I've been dating this lady for 2 years now. It's a long distance. I plan on marrying her before the year ends. But it seems everyone is saying we need to know each other more from all sides. I'm 32 and she's 27. What do I do?
How did you meet anyway? I hope you didn't meet in the virtual world. So how did you meet? And even though it's a long distance relationship, how have you been relating? Are you doing anything that will help you get to know each other better? Are you in touch with that person's network so that you get to know what is going on around your beloved as well? So do a little bit more.
Oh, Uncle, before we continue, a special shout out to Nana Kwesi Donko. From Aramide again. What do you do about partners who have so many virtual girlfriends?
Oh, they are a pain. They are a pain in the some way I can't say on camera. Yeah, they have ego issues. You know, they feel good with the attention they are getting. Those are damaged personalities because they don't see the damage they are doing to themselves and to their relationship. And I hope they would all outgrow that kind of situation.
Uncle, a follow-up from Kay, who asked about his woman who talks about her exes. Says she mostly tells me how unfair they treated her.
My brother, keep quiet and listen. And move on. And whenever you can, change the subject.
Another question on our WhatsApp platform. It's sex after traditional marriage, right? Or we have to wait for the white wedding in church?
It's sex after what?
Traditional marriage.
Traditional
marriage. Well,
let's go on.
From Selma. Uncle, please, if your partner doesn't get your jokes or gets irritated by your jokes, what do you do?
Change your jokes. Change your jokes. It's possible that what you're calling it jokes is hurting. And so change your jokes.
Ella is back to clarify her earlier message.
Okay.
Uncle, my husband was going to Africa. This lady sent this package to my husband to go and give her mother.
Her mother?
Yes.
Yes.
But the package came to my house after my husband left for Africa. Then when I asked him, he told me the package belonged to a lady that he was talking to on Facebook.
Okay. So that's a very different situation than the kind of situation you guys were assuming it was. So the man wasn't even in town when the package came. All right, okay, let's move on.
Uncle, me, I take everything personal. Even how my text is responded to, I read into everything. What should I do?
You'll cry yourself to sleep a lot. Grow.
From Mac. So she says you don't love her because when you see her with other guys and you keep your cool, you don't show any sign of jealousy.
Oh, my brother, sorry, sorry, sorry. You know, those are the people who, even if you give them your head, they will tell you that, you know, when they were cutting your head for me, you were not smiling, and that will become an issue in this. So, just go for it and move on.
Wow. What do you do when you are dating someone for almost 10 months and he doesn't ask to know where you live?
Do you know where he lives? Let's go on.
From Vincentia. Uncle, I have never loved my husband. I thought the love would grow, but after 8 years of marriage, still, should I leave?
Vicentia, you'll be surprised to find that you've just spoken for about 70% of married women. There are a lot of married couples who are married, but they never loved each other, or one party did not love the other. Marriage is more than love, Vicentia. So you are in it now. Let the other tools that will help you build a stronger marriage come into play. It's not a good reason to walk away.
Uncle from Alfred. I can't find my wife Oye here today. What should I do to get her to listen?
He can't do what?
He can't find his wife Oye here online.
Oh, there's something called playback. So go for the recording and share. And Oye, hi, and wherever you are, all the best. Your husband is missing you.
From Stewardson, how do you deal with a partner who sleeps angry?
He sleeps angry. What does it mean he sleeps angry? Or he goes to bed angry? Goes to bed angry. Ignore him. Live your life. Live your life. Hey, King. Your Royal Majesty. It's always a joy to have you.
Uncle, there's this debate ongoing right now among my fellow Kingsmen. Please, who approves of marriage? Is it the family or the church? I.e. into brackets, the counselor.
Oh, it's a family. It's a family. Especially in Ghana, it is a family. Outside Ghana, it is a couple. Once the two of you decide that you are going to get married, that is it. Nobody's view matters anymore. In Ghana, it is a family. But again, the family must respect the wishes of the couple.
Uncle, Aramide says, I know where he lives, so.
But he's not interested in where you live. Give it time. Give it time. Maybe one day he will come to it.
From Seiram in Kansa. Uncle, talking about issues is difficult for me too. When I get issues, I talk a lot to myself in my head, and I smile over it and move on. Sometimes I shut myself out from everyone and just take a vacation to calm myself. I sometimes feel I am broken. Please advise.
You must understand that you are doing yourself harm. It is not healthy. So, baby steps. Begin to talk about issues. If you can't, what I said is write them and pass it on. That will be helpful, because keeping them will not help you. All right, I understand we have just a few minutes left, so let's take about 2 or 3 questions and then we'll close.
Quanta, love is a mystery to me. I don't really understand it. Is there a way to break it down and choose someone?
If you find a way of breaking it down, you will become the king of the world. It's a mystery to all of us. Let's go. It's a mystery to all of us. Love is a big mystery. How you wake up one day and suddenly somebody becomes your world. Nobody can explain that. But thank God it happens. And if you are blessed for it to happen to you, you are indeed blessed. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. I don't take your being with me for granted. And remember, if you're in Accra or you intend to be in Accra over the Christmas and New Year period, my Festival of 5 Plays will begin from the 23rd. It will run 23rd, 24th, 25th, 1st and 2nd of January at the National Theatre. There will be 2 shows every day, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. And we advise that even if you would not be able to make it, buy a ticket for somebody to come and watch at least 1 show. And that person would always thank you as long as he remembers any line. Well, Christmas is just around the corner. Finish strong. Finish the year strong. Finish the year strong. And may the coming year bring you even more joy. God bless you and sustain and keep you. Stay blessed. They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very much committed to helping you become